Hi, I'd like to talk to you right now about how to create rubrics by using the Outcomes feature in Canvas. To begin, select Outcomes over here in the left-hand menu. And you'll notice you come to a page called Learning Outcomes. You have a choice between creating a new outcome or a new group. Here for this course you will see that I've already created outcomes for the course outcomes and also competencies for 2 weeks. If we look at one of the course outcomes, you'll see how it looks. I'm kind of using a standard nomenclature so that we can identify these things easily, CO being course outcome and 1 being the first one. Here's the definition. And this is the rating scale that we're going to try to use standardly throughout all the SPAS courses. Okay, so to show you how this works, I'm going to start by creating a new group for week 3. I click on the new group button and I write competencies week 3. Okay, and I'm going to save that. Now that I have selected the week 3 competencies, I'm going to select a new outcome within that group. And I'm going to call it week 3, number 1. And we'll see if I still have anything in my clipboard. Oh, I do. So I had previously copied from my syllabus the competency for week 3. And I've put it in here in the descriptor. Okay. We can also put it, if it's not too long, we can put part of it right up here in the top. What's going to happen is that this will be the title, and then you will also see it appear when you click on the View Longer Description link. Okay, so now we have to set the rating scale. Unfortunately, right now, we don't have an option of importing a rating scale or having a default rating scale, so we're going to have to change each one. This is a pain, and I'm hoping that it's going to go away. Here we go. So I'm going to call this one exemplary, maybe, exemplary. I'm going to give it 5, and I'm going to say OK. Now to add another rating scale, I'm going to put in the insert. And I'm going to put in my number 4, which is going to be proficient. Call it 4. And say OK. And then clicking on the pencil icon to edit, I'm going to say emerging for 3. And I'm going to leave on the does not meet expectations for 0. I'm going to change the set mastery to 4. That means that all students who get a B- are going to be considered to have reached mastery. All right, now if I can slip this over, you'll see how this is all going to work. I'm going to say save. I think. Why is this not working? Okay, and we'll see that the creation was successful. Right, just to show you how we then, once we have developed competencies in the outcomes, we can create a rubric. I'm going to click over here on the Manage Rubrics. Okay, and I'm going to add a rubric up here on the right. I'm going to call it Discussion Week 3. And instead of including the criterion here and editing this like you would normally on creating your own rubric, you can look at the Find Outcome criterion. And I'm going to go to Competencies of Week 3, and I'm going to find the one I want to use, which is this one, and click Import. And say OK. And you'll see now that my competency has appeared in this rubric. I can get rid of this sort of generic one that they have set up as default and click Go Away. Okay, now I have one criteria. You can, of course, add more if you've included more outcomes in your competencies, Or you can add a specific one, or perhaps one that you've created for judging all discussions or something like that, and add them along here. We're trying to keep the rating scale standard with exemplary, proficient, emerging, and doesn't do it. And in each course, then we will define what proficient actually means, and then exemplary is clearly above, and emerging not quite. Okay, so now I'm going to click Create Rubric. And I have here a rubric called Discussion for Week 5. It's only worth 5 points. You'll see that the more competencies you include, the more points accumulate. That's probably a good thing. That means that your discussions can be worth more or less depending on how many competencies are included within the discussion. Okay, so there you have it. The next step would be attaching the competency to an assignment.